Welcome back to Omni Garage. So today we are using a DIY ceramic product that we have never used before. We're working on an SS Commodore here in the United States. You may know this as a Chevrolet. I think they imported this for a few years and did it under the Chevrolet brand over there, but no, they didn't. They did this under, I think, the Pontiac brand for some reason. So there you go, fun fact. But Holden, this is an LS3 Commodore, and it's about 10 years old. So with a 10-year-old car, obviously you have some areas that are going to need some treatment after a period of time. And on this car, it has been parked outside. Therefore, what it is in need of, we worked on the paint already, but look at this trim. So this trim is in dire need of restoration. It is heavily faded. It's got a lot of oxidization in there too. Now, we probably can't deal with the oxidization, but we can deal with the fading on here and definitely improve it. So typically in the past, if we had a vehicle like this, what we would look to do is just use a ceramic coating. So whatever the ceramic coating of choice that we're applying to the vehicle, we would also go and apply onto the trim. And look, that works pretty well. You get some really good results. It enriches the plastic usually. However, what we've got on here is probably a little too far gone for our ceramic coating by itself to have an impact. So that's where the Restore and Protect plastic coating from DIY Detail comes in. So think of this as a hybrid product. This is ceramic based, so it's SiO2, but it also has dyes in here as well. So the way I kind of think about this, it's like mixing your bottle of ceramic coating with a product like Solution Finish, which is a dye essentially that you put into your plastic. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. You get the dye aspect to really enrichen the trim. You get the SiO2 properties as well, which will give you that longevity and the protection from it. So what I'm expecting to see here is results that aren't quite as drastic as using a product like Solution Finish. But what I will expect to see is that the longevity of this is going to far outperform a dye-only base product. So something to keep in mind is you can use this on all of the plastic trim on the vehicle. We've actually coated this area here because it wasn't quite to the same degree of neglect or fading as this here, but you're going to be able to use it on any of your trim that is plastic based on the vehicle. So where you can't use it is on your painted surfaces, and you are going to need to be careful because it can dye and damage your painted surfaces. So the way that you use this product is you need to, first of all, prepare the surface. So an APC is probably a good way to do it. Typically you would do this through the wash and decon process of the vehicle. We've actually just finished ceramic coating. This has the new DIY Detail. What do we put on here? The 8-year coating. 8 years. Just trying to find it here. So the Hydrate DIY Detail is what you're seeing on the surface of the vehicle. But what we're doing, this is a bit of an afterthought really. So hence why we're doing this cleanup the way Glenn is here. So he's got some APC and just doing quite a deep clean in there. Now, as you can see here, this is kind of that area where we've got that heavier neglect. We've got the oxidization as well as the fading in there. You can see it on the wiper arms as well. So keeping in mind
this car was cleaned and prepared before the ceramic coating went down. So we used the Labo Cosmetica system of shampoos to prepare the surface. So I guess it has been cleaned that kind of way, but we've got polishing oils and we've got polishing dust and we've got a little bit of, what would you call it, overnight settling dust that's on here?
I would say so. So this is really just a superficial clean because as Glenn said, that Labo Cosmetica system has been used in order to prepare the paint for our polishing stages. But important to just give this another clean up. And then once Glenn's finished this, the second thing that we want to do is use something like a panel prep spray in order to, an alcohol-based product potentially, to really clean this up and make sure it's ready to accept the ceramic coating. You've got a couple of options you can use here. So in the background over there, you may see a bottle. This is app. This is the DIY Detail C6 app. We have been loving this product on the painted surfaces. So you can use that and you could apply that, or you could use something like a panel prep. So, something like a CarPro Eraser or a Detail Co, what is these called? Just panel prep. I'm not too sure what we have in the little kit over there, but we're going to pick a panel prep and we're going to spray this down and get it ready to...
You kind of want to keep in the same lines too, so you kind of want to be using a DIY Detail panel prep. We don't have that, but we have Pan's panel prep, And we have, so we got pans here. This is pans panel prep.
Yeah.
And I think we have the Detailco one. Actually, we
We do have the Detailco somewhere. I think it might be in this little kit over here.
Here we go.
There we go, panel prep.
Let's use that because it's already half used.
Yeah, perfect. And can I just let you guys behind the scenes over here? We had a pretty good order that came in from the House of Rags yesterday. So this is only 2 of, how many boxes do we have? 5 boxes. So this
I don't know.
2 of 5
Couple
boxes.
$1,000 worth of stuff we ordered.
We did. So again, we are trying to kind of work our way through the whole House of Rags line, test out every towel, pretty much every product we can get our hands on. You know, we've got the GT, the new interior cleaner there. We've got some of the Semper. We've got a few new IKs. So lots more content to come. We're trying to get a shipment in every month or so with all of the latest goodies from the House of Rags. So what have you gone with? Detailco?
Detailco, yep.
Perfect. And just on the towel there, because obviously we have ceramic coated, we don't want to get overspray here. And this is kind of that second point. We've done the deep clean. This is the preparation. What are your expectations for this product? How dark do you think this is going to make the trim?
I'd like to see a substantial change.
Yeah.
From that dull, chalky look, I would like to hope we get some, I guess, enrichment, blackness back into the trim.
That's that chalkiness Glenn is talking about in there. So, a handy tip here, if you have the time, would be to actually take your wipers off. So, take these out. We're not going to do that today. We're going to kind of work carefully under those, but if you do have the time, you're working on your own vehicle, probably a good tip to take those off before you move into the stage. So Glenn's got the bottle. So this is a 30 milliliter bottle. I think this is something that you'll have for quite a long time.
I think it'll go a long way, yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're just using it on stuff like cowling. Yeah, strong solvent smell.
Yep. Don't do that.
Yeah, so I'm expecting this to be really dark and like have that, yeah, there we go, the black dyes coming out.
I don't know how much to use.
I think you've probably
You're
gone
gonna done a good
heavy.
job on?
Yeah, I think you've gone heavy. But heavy's good. So let's have a look. Let's see how we go here.
Oh yeah, way too much.
Yeah, we're going to be able to spread that quite a wee way, I think. I think on the DIY instructions it says to apply a few drops. I think we probably went like 15 drops on there.
I can just hear Ivan
Yeah,
right on the keyboard now going, you applied way too much.
that's all right. Tell us, Ivan. Well, we actually know Ivan. Tell us anyway. It's all right. It's all a learning experience here. We're not experts, especially when we use a product for the first time. I quite like the smell of that. Now you're kind of applying it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think one of the things that can be deceptive around a product like this is that it can look really good when you apply it. It's not until you come back a few minutes later or you get to the removal of the excess stage, then you go, hang on, not quite where I want it to be. So a product like this is layerable, so you can do multiple coats of it if you need to in order to get the desired effect. I mean, looking at that, so again, this is not the final result, right? It's going to fade a little bit from what we're seeing here, but when we get to this point here, you can see the drastic difference it's made to the richness of the trim there. Looks like you might need a little bit more product now.
No, I think we can massage the rest of it.
Stretch that in. And the way this product is working, it's penetrating into the actual pores of the trim here. So it's not sitting on the surface, and really that black dye is what is soaking and penetrating through, and that's what's going to get you the richness. And then obviously SiO2 component, that is going to sit more on the surface, and that's what's going to get you your longevity from this. And that is where this differs from something like a solution finish. And that's obviously where you get your cost difference as well. So, you know, solution finish is a lot cheaper than this product, but you can't look at them as the same thing. They're going to do two slightly different things. Do you like that smell?
Yeah, it's like a... It's definitely not an amazing scent, but it's like a... I don't know. It's just like a... If you can imagine this, like I'm staining like a wood stain.
Oh, yep.
You know, like
staining the
like a
deck.
deck or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like that, and that's probably what the dye that's in here, that's probably that scent.
Do you think the people in the comments are going to like that? Staining the deck?
Oh yeah, they'll say I've got a weird accent or something.
Yeah, I think they will. The deck. D-E, and not D-I. DIY detail, though.
Right, what do we think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here, so you can see some smears. Now, this is a product that you're going to level off. But I think if you look at this already, compared to what we had at the starting point, I might show it over to your side and show it over there. This right here is that area where we had the quite considerable difference. You can kind of see it.
Well, you can see a little high spot on the paint
right there. Yeah. And obviously we've got some on the glass here as well, so we'll clean that up before we go and remove this. But basically, setup time on this, I mean, you can remove this pretty much immediately. We're going to leave this for a couple of minutes and then grab a removal towel and essentially treat it like a ceramic coating, level it, and then see if we can remove any excess that's sitting on the surface. And you can see here what the product actually does to the applicator pad. So we're using the DIY, just all of that dye in there. So what have we got here now, Glenn, as you're removing it? You can start to see it.
Much the same sort of finish that we had when it was on wet. But as this sort of soaks into the plastic, I think we're going to see maybe the degree of richness, I think, will come back a few notches. I think it won't be quite that rich.
Yeah,
and that's what you typically see, that as these dyes soak in and absorb and then dry off, you sort of see it come back a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you've got to remember what your starting point is on here as well. If your trim looks better than what ours did here, obviously end result's going to be quite different. But I mean, going by the images you guys saw at the start of the video, this trim was very, very faded and very damaged. How much product are you picking up on the towel there? How dark is that?
Not a huge amount.
Okay. So, I mean, that shows that a lot of this has penetrated through into the surface.
And I've just used a couple of rags because these are going to go straight in the bin.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, stain them.
That's kind of key, that these are going to go for the trash pretty much immediately. And this is the thing, so it's layerable as well. So you can add pretty much as you want in here. It's kind of like, I think if you're staining something like a deck, you're going to get a slightly different finish. If you go and touch up one area but not the other, you're going to see definitely a difference. But I think what we do is we leave this, should we leave it for about half an hour? We'll come back and then have a look and just see. If I kind of scan over here now, we're going to need to remove this off the glass, but if I scan over, show you guys what it's looking like after that first wipe. And then we'll come along in 30 minutes and have a look and see if it's faded back at all. See what our end results look like. All right, so we've left it for about half an hour. And do you know what? To my eye here, I'm pretty happy with the results as to what we've got. I think it's going to look a little bit harsher under the camera. But just to the naked eye, if I stand back a foot or two here, the difference between what we started with versus what we're looking at now, it's pretty transformative. Like, I would be pretty happy, and I think our customer is going to be pretty happy with this as well. Trim restoration is not something that he had asked for, he had paid for, but it's something we're going to deliver to him today. And I think for the likes of our own vehicles, if we did have faded trim, and you know, Glenn and I, we have 20-year-old WRXs, we do have faded trim on those, and if we need to every 3 or every 6 months, we can use something that doesn't last as long, and we can just continue to top it up. For a customer that's coming through your workshop, they probably don't have the ability, the skills, or just the willingness to want to learn how to do anything like this. So I think if you can put something on like the it's the Restore and Protect. I was going to say the Protect and Correct, but the Restore and Protect by DIY Detail, I think the longevity side of it, I would like to think that it's going to far outrun something like a dye-only based product. So, I mean, you can be the judge for yourself having a look at that trim. I mean, I think you should come shoot over my shoulder here as well, Glenn, because
we also put no effort in to get it to look like that too.
No, I mean, this is one coat, so we could do 2 coats, but this area here, so it is very clear. You can still see the difference.
Well, yeah, you can still see under there as well.
The texture difference in there, but again, like if you step back a couple of steps there, Glenn, and then look at that area, you know, to the naked eye, it looks way, way different to where we started from. So for $60, 60 US dollars, the Restore and Protect from DIY Detail, I think is a product, particularly if you're in a setting where you are working on a lot of cars, maybe you're a professional detailer. I think this is something that you want to have on the shelf or in the cabinet that you can grab from time to time to restore and protect trim like this. Do you need it if you're a hobbyist and you've only got 1 or 2 cars? Maybe not, depends how far into that hobby you are. There may be other products that are slightly cheaper out there, because this is $60 US, so it's not dirt cheap. I mean, I keep comparing it to Solution Finish because I think the hobbyist, Solution Finish is going to be your most cost-effective way to do it, but longevity-wise, I mean, I've had to redo Solution Finish, and we can't tell you now because we can't fast forward 12 months, but I would like to think, based on the SiO2 in this product, that we're going to see some pretty good results still after 12 months. So my verdict on this is it's going to stay on the Omni Garage shelf. I think the bottle is going to last us for a very long time, and if we work it out on a per car basis, I think it's going to be relatively affordable in a professional setting. So there you go, some first thoughts, some first impressions of the DIY Protect. I keep going, protect and correct and restore. We might put this on one of our own cars as well, and then we'll be able to do a slightly more in-depth video. So heaps more content to come on the channel. Obviously, we showed you those boxes at the start of the video. We are playing with heaps of different towels, heaps of different chemicals that are available on the House of Rags. Make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.